Well, hello everyone. Hey, it is Karen McDermott Rolfe, and I'm an independent advisor with Creative Memories, and I'm back with my monthly technique layout and challenge. I'm going to share a scrapbooking technique with you, and then I challenge all of you to use the technique to create a layout. Take a photo and share your photo of your layout with me in my Facebook group, Karen's Croppers, for an entry into my monthly door prize drawing. When you enter your photo, please look for the album section. Okay, so look for go to media and then albums and enter it into the Technique Tuesday number 47. So that means there are 47 different technique albums there in Karen's Croppers. Plus, there's several more albums there, all featuring a different scrapbooking technique. So, what a great reference library with a wealth of scrapbooking ideas and inspiration for you there. You can also find some of my layouts on my blog at karencrops.com. And I so appreciate any of your purchases through my Creative Memories website link at creativememories.com/user/Karen, and it's Karen with a Y. And I offer a generous customer rewards program. So I am so excited to share this technique with you today. As many of you know, I'm also one of the designers that makes layout ideas for the Creative Memories blog. So if you go to Creative Memories and you go to the Creative Memories blog, you're also going to see some of my layout ideas there. I've been doing this for quite some time, you guys, and I looked back. And this might have been one of the first. I don't believe it's the first, but it's one of the first layouts that I shared with Creative Memories back in 2016. Okay, you guys, 2016. So that's been 7 years ago already. I can't believe how time has flown. That's when the new Creative Memories launched, right? We had the old Creative Memories, and then we had the new Creative Memories launch. And when the new company launched, we didn't have very many items. We just had a few paper packs and a few basic tools. There were no stickers and no embellishments. Took a few months to get those items. And we did have two Border Maker cartridges, and one of those was the Diamond Scroll. So I used that Diamond Scroll Border Maker cartridge. That was one of the first two that the new Creative Memories launched back in 2016. And I used that Diamond Scroll Border Maker cartridge to create a layout using some different paper, kind of showing off different colors. And I used a technique way back then that I'm revisiting now and kind of giving it an updated look and a different twist to it. So you can go to that Creative Memories blog, use the search function, look for Diamond Scroll, and you'll see that old layout of mine. Keep in mind, like I said, it's been a while ago. We didn't have any stickers or embellishments then, so we were kind of trying to fill the layout up with paper and other things. So let's take a look at this. So isn't this super cute? I'm really tickled with how it turned out. So basically the technique is using the Border Maker system with the cartridge to punch around semicircle pieces, and then you place those semicircles on the page to create a design. That original layout of mine was a double page spread, so I used the semicircles to go across both pages and continue and create this pattern on both sides of the layout. So for this one today, it's just a single page, but again, I've used this, and then I've put some larger semicircles behind it to create this really cool effect. I love how this came together. I think it's super cute. This is only, I think, the second layout that I've created using the What a Zoo 2 collection. So what a super cute collection, isn't this? So that's What a Zoo 2. It has designer paper. It has some embellishments, and the embellishments are layered. It has the cutest zoo stickers, you guys. These are the cutest little animal stickers that I've ever seen. So definitely those are something to nab. There's a few border stickers too. And then they had some coordinating ABC 1, 2, 3 letter stickers. So look at these the cute little cheetah print there on the letter stickers. Super cute. So let me show you how I made this, and I'm going to make it using the Painted Garden collection. That's our spring collection, and it's going to have a totally different look. So again, really cool. I love when we can use the same technique and create different things. To start off, and if you look at my layout here and refer to it, these larger circle pieces here in the background have more of a pattern, or more designer pattern and a bigger pattern. So I looked for that in the Painted Garden, and of course there's this lovely pattern here with the garden. I've already been using some of it for some other layouts, but I did have a piece big enough for what I need today. So I'm going to use the jumbo custom cutting. I'm going to use the custom cutting system with the jumbo circle pattern. So this is the jumbo circle pattern, and I'm going to use the blue blade on the inside edge. So when I cut that with the blue blade on the inside edge, I'm going to get a circle. Obviously, I've already done this because I was trying to figure out what papers to select that would look the best. And then you're going to cut, you have your circle, fold it so you can find the halfway mark, and then cut it in half. Okay, so set that aside. And now we're going to create some layers. So the next layer, I chose black. So again, very different. When you're looking at this Painted Garden, you're going to see lots of pretty bright, some pastel, well, not really pastel colors, but just pretty bright colors. And you won't necessarily think of putting black with it. But I think that black is a great complement to this collection, because it helps to kind of tone down all those bright colors a little bit. And sometimes when you're using a lot of colors, it gets a little overwhelming to the eye. And so when you use a neutral color like black or white, that helps to settle it down. It gives your eye a place to rest, and it provides a nice accent. In some of the paper here with the pattern, there is a little bit of black in it. It's in the bumblebees and the ladybugs. So there is a little tad of black being used. So for the next piece to cut, I use black cardstock. Let's just kind of recreate this. And now I use my circle patterns, and this is the largest one. So the number 3, or the largest. And again, using the blue blade, but this time on the outside edge. Outside edge, okay? So this is the largest circle on the outside edge. Cut the circle, and then again, fold it and cut it in half. Okay. For our next layer, I'm going to cut out a new one, and I'm going to use the, this is the number 2 circle, so it's the medium size, the middle-sized one, and I'm going to cut this with using the blue blade again on that outside edge. So I have to make sure, I'm going to just look and see if I have enough space there to accommodate that blue blade. And I believe I do. I'm not pressing, but I'm just kind of looking to see where that blue blade will hit, because it's going to be close to the edge. Once I cut this out, you'll see what I mean. Look at there, I got really close to those edges, but it was just big enough. So again, we're gonna fold this in half, and that way I get the half mark. And that's about the easiest way to do this. Open it up, and then I've got that score mark there where I folded. I'm going to put that on the dashed cutting line, and I'm going to cut it in half. Okay. Now we're going to do the technique. And if we look here back at my layout, I've used the Zebra Stripes Border Maker cartridge for this. So the Zebra Stripes. And in my original layout back in 2016, I used the Diamond Scroll. Now both of those cartridges are what we call a knockout cartridge. Okay, so we have Border Maker cartridges that are an edge. They punch the edge. We have ones that are a chain. So when you punch them, you just get this loose chain that falls off. And then the third one is the knockout style. And this punches a pattern on your paper. So it does not punch the edge. It's kind of knocked out there. So I took a look at all of my other styles of knockouts, and I'm going to use an old one. And I'm sorry to do this to you. Hopefully you have it from way back when, but it's going to be a hard one to find now if you try to purchase it. But I'm using the butterflies. So this punches little butterflies, and you'll see how this is a knockout version. Right now, though, we do have something similar to the butterflies, and that's the bats and stars. So little bats and stars. So if you have like, you could use this for a Halloween layout using those bats and stars. Or maybe just some other kind of an outdoor one. Even for the zoo layout, the bats could be cute too. Okay. And then we're just going to use the housing unit here of the border maker system, and we're going to insert this, and we're going to use it as a handheld punch. I'm going to want to use the yellow side. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn it to the back side, and I'm just going to mark where the center is. So I've kind of centered it here on my mat in between the lines, and I'm finding where the center is, and that'll help me to make the first punch. And so now when I'm holding this upside down, you know, I can kind of, you know, the center of this is going to kind of cut into that wing there on that first top little butterfly. So I'm just, you know, I'm eyeballing all of this. It doesn't need to be exactly precise. I think I'm going to go over a little bit. Okay, so I've got it in there, and I'm going to punch. And I have my first punch. And now I'm going to punch on both sides over there. So I'm just going to kind of center it in between where the butterflies are on the edge. And again, it's not going to be very precise. It's just going to eyeball it, do the best you can do to kind of get them spaced out equally. There we go. I kind of chomped that a little bit before I pressed it, so I've got some indentation marks there I'm seeing. I'm going to take my second semicircle piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm telling you, when you're looking at these diagonal lines, this kind of makes a bit of an optical illusion there, doesn't it? Also, I'm kind of seeing when I put it in, I can just kind of get it to the center by looking at both sides. So I have about an equal amount of the paper overhanging on both sides. Make that first punch, and then come over, space it out a little bit, and punch again. Okay. And I do the same thing with that zebra stripe. So now I have those pieces. Now I'm going to use also the Ladybug's punch. You guys, this was an exclusive punch. Hopefully you saw my video when the promo was happening. And the promo ended on April 28th, where with the purchase, you were able to select and get this Ladybug's punch with some Ladybug paper for free. It was one of the freebies. And if you look there on my YouTube channel, you'll see a super cute layout that I created with that paper and this Ladybug punch. So I still kind of have the Ladybugs on my mind. I like this punch, it's cute. And I thought it went with the Painted Garden paper really well. There are ladybugs in it, and so I thought of a cute way to use it. So I need to punch a few more, but for this layout, I just want the smallest ladybug. I don't want the too big ones. And since I'm going to be punching on the on designer paper, you know, and I want to conserve my paper, I don't want to just punch out these sizes that I don't need. So I'm going to call it a little bit, well, let's see. I'm gonna put it like this. And I'm just going to put the paper in so it covers this portion of the punch. And that way I'm only getting the ladybug. I do want the paper to be over far enough that I get the antennas. So see, whoops, I didn't have it quite right. Let me punch again. So see there when I punched it, I only got the one ladybug. And now I'm going to move it up, and I'm going to over punch. But again, I'm looking at the edge of the paper, I'm looking at the antennas, and I'm going to punch. Whoops, punch too close. Here I was trying to conserve paper, right? And I'm not doing a very good job. Ah, I did it again. Oh boy. There we go. Finally got one. Uh-oh. And I just heard my punch got stuck. This is not a good sign. I don't like when that happens. It's a good teachable moment, right? When this happens, because if it happened to me, it's likely to happen to you. And this happens sometime. And really, the recommended thing is to slam it on your floor on a really hard surface. My table is plastic, it has give to it, so it's not going to be hard enough. But to give it a good flat whack and see if it releases. So let me try this on my floor. Well, that doesn't seem to be working. Sometimes my husband will help me with this. He'll get a flat screwdriver, kind of put it in there, try to pry it. Another method is to put it in your freezer, and when it gets cold, the metal's going to constrict and it'll loosen up. There is a dry lube spray you can buy. Make sure it's dry lube. You don't want it greasy. And you can spray your punches with that. Ah, there we go. The slamming it on the floor method worked. And it took a few times. Also, to kind of prevent your punches from jamming up like that, you want to clear it out every once in a while. So I probably have some little pieces in there. So I'm just going to shake it, get those little pieces out. And let's see, I need to punch a couple more. Now look at there, punch that time like a charm. And again. And again. So let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I really need another one. So 6. So I already had a few punched. I think I needed 18 total. 18, 9 for each side. These were just partial. I snipped off the antenna, so I'm not going to use those. Also, I'm going to use that black cardstock and the border maker system again to punch a little border to use as an accent. So again, I'm using the black cardstock to repeat that. This time I'm going to use the woven scallops. Look for a cartridge that just makes a little kind of decorative edge. I liked this one because it's just subtle. I don't have to show the entire punched piece to get a nice little subtle effect. So to use the border maker system, I'm going to open up that arm on the tray. I'm going to snap the arm shut. Well, I need my paper in the tray nice and straight. There we go. Shut the arm. And now the little tray I'm going to fold over to the back. And now I'm going to look at this embossed line here on the carriage, the housing unit, and the embossed lines on the arm. And when those meet up, that is when I punch. This is the woven scallops cartridge. I used it on my last video also with the ladybug layout. This is an exclusive cartridge that only advisors can purchase. And so reach out to your advisor if you'd like to purchase this. And if you don't have an advisor, I would be glad to mail one to you. So just reach out to me. I'm going to cut it off the cardstock at 1 inch. And I have this little border now. And then also from that lady, the big print paper, I cut a 1 inch by 12 inch strip. Yep. So we are ready to start doing some assembly. For the background, I'm going to use this white paper, again from the Painted Garden. It has dandelion print on the back, so I like that it was a subtle neutral because I've got the bright colors and the bright patterns happening. So let's see, maybe we'll do it the opposite of how I did it before. I'm going to lay everything out before I started adhering so you can kind of just see how it's going to look and come together. I'm coming down a little bit. This looks like about a ½ inch from the, this looks like at about 6.5 inches from the top, so not quite in the center. The next layer is going to be the black, and you're going to come over, or I think you're going to go over that way. We'll see once we get it laid out. It's not going to be centered on that piece. However, the yellow one will be centered on the black cardstock. And look at how those ladybugs really pop with that black in the background. Yes, I kind of wanted the there we go. Let me talk to you in a minute here about what I'm doing. I wanted the yellow pieces to kind of match up, so it looks like the punch design continues. So it's one kind of contiguous zigzag pattern. So that's why you can notice where the black piece is not centered on the floral piece. It's over to the right on this one and then over to the left on this one, okay? And now all those little ladybugs, I was going to put around to make another row. I was thinking about this ladybug punch and why I like it and why I like the idea of all these little ladybugs in a row. And if you check out my YouTube video with the ladybugs, I did have them going in a line, going up the stem of a big flower, and it was just a really cool effect there. And I think it's because I remember a bracelet. I can't remember who had it. I think it must have been my mom. And they were enameled little ladybugs all in a row. And they're red, real shiny and smooth. And I remember as a child liking to rub those and look at them and how the ladybugs were all lined up. So I think that's what this is, the memory that this is bringing back to me. So I would just space those out along the black. That paper that I punched is kind of the orange paper that's in the Painted Garden, but really it does have a red look, a faded kind of red look. So I think it worked well with the ladybugs. I'm going to have a little bit of some embellishments here at the end pieces. So keep that in mind when you're spacing them out and adhering. I don't think I'll do the adhering for the video because it'll take me a little bit of time to get that repositional tape on them and to get the spacing just how I like it. But as always, I do like to kind of lay out everything first to see where it's going to go and then start adhering, working on my layers, building up the layout. Okay, I have my 1-inch strip here I'm going to put at the top. And I have my little border, and that's going to go underneath the 1-inch strip. Now, I don't want the whole border to show. I thought that was too much. I just want a little bit. I wanted just a little bit of a scallop lace kind of showing. It's kind of a solid, again, contiguous kind of pattern, but yeah, it had that opened quality to it, so that's why I chose that. And now I need some photo mats. So I used the smallest circle pattern, so this is the number 1. Again, the black cardstock, and I used the green blade on the outside edge. Now when I cut my photographs, I'll use, again, this pattern, but I'll use the red blade on the outside edge, and then my photos will be a little bit smaller than these mats that I cut here with the green blade. Now you're just going to see how when I put this over, it does overlap a little bit of my ladybugs a little bit, so I could work on those. But isn't that cool? So I get kind of a double zigzaggy pattern. I get one with the butterflies and then one with the ladybugs going around it. So I think that looks super cute. So I'm going to played with different ways to embellish this. Again, I looked at the Painted Garden embellishments and stickers, and here is what I came up with. So this is an embellishment piece that's a journaling box. I liked it. It was matted with black around it. So that's going to give me a little space there for journaling. I have this title piece, and I have that cute leaf piece there with the caterpillar. So I think that'll go up here at the top, like that. I've layered here, these are 2 leaf embellishments, and then a sticker flower and a sticker leaf. I've layered them, and I'm going to adhere this right here with foam squares. So won't that be cute? It'll kind of overlap the photograph a little bit. And then I have a butterfly embellishment with a title sticker, and I'm going to adhere that with foam squares right over here. Here. And then I thought I might finish it off by adding a few of the gemstones. I was looking at what color, and I'm thinking I might use the orange color again to kind of draw out the color of the ladybugs and as a nice accent piece. So I might put one over here by the flower and maybe one over here by the butterfly. So I think that's how I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to do a border treatment on the bottom. I don't think it needs it. This one is so bright, so patterned. There's a lot going on with the ladybugs and the butterflies and the border. I don't think we need anything at the bottom. I like the extra white space. And I like that the white background does have that little bit of a pattern there of the dandelions. So what a super cute look, huh? What do you guys think? And if we compare that to my original layout with the zoo collection, let me get that. We'll put those side by side. And I think this is going to be really fun in Karen's Croppers there, my Facebook group, to see all the layouts that all of you make and share using this technique, because we're going to get quite a bit of variation, I believe. You guys are going to look at the cartridges you have in the collections, and you're going to do some adapting, and we're going to see lots of different ideas coming through Karen's Croppers. So that's another good reason there to join me, because we all get inspiration from each other, and I get inspiration from all of you. I get ideas from you. I copy layouts that you share with me because I love them so much. So I hope you guys love this technique as much as I do, and I hope you give it a try, and I hope you share it with me. I think that's all I have to say, really. No extra announcements, other than, again, that woven, the woven chain here, border maker cart, or it's not woven chain, woven scallop border maker cartridge. If you'd like to get that, reach out to me, and I'd be glad to get that to you too. All right, everybody, thanks so much for visiting with me. Have a great month.